Hello, folks. It is Nychelle, your GM of the evening, with Hacked in the Dark Actual Plays. This is episode 2 of our crazy, strange game show that our crew finds themselves in. And
yeah. Is that what it is?
Yes. So I will go ahead and introduce myself. Well, I kind of already did. And yeah, I think that's all I need to introduce. So I'm going to go ahead and call on folks this time. And let's see. Mark, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Mark Cleveland. I'm a previous player on this channel and part of the production staff. And I'll be playing Daisy tonight, the elderly whisper female. Or woman. We'll say woman.
Fantastic. And Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I use she, her, they pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Yorath, the savant.
Wonderful. And finally, Esker.
Yeah, I'm Esker, he, him, and playing Coil, they, them, a Dade Walker, sort of a arcane martial artist.
Lovely. So last we left off, you guys had just finished pushing through a sewer system, barely getting past Speedster, the radiant mutated slug. And you get accosted by some bats, seemingly, from the ceiling coming towards you. You all dodge out of the way and then go over where Dusty is. Upon which you discover that there's supposed to be a key put into this lock that you left behind with Rowan's body. So you go back very quietly and sneakily, grab the key, and then reapproach the door. At which point, Dusty is just kind of floating there. Okay, all right, yeah. And you put it in. Anytime you want.
Who has the key?
I thought we did. Yeah. I thought Coil put the key in, right? Before, or did we?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I'm retconning like 10 seconds.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Key goes in. I turned the, what was it, a femur?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The key turns in the lock. And suddenly, music stops playing. The ambient noise in the room. Everything seems to wind down. You almost hear like the bats and everything else like stop making noise. And all of a sudden, a figure opens the door from in front of you. Oh, God, this is awful. I think I thought I was actually dealing with scoundrels. Pause the show. Turn up the lights, and like all the lights in the sewer and everything else. Like even lights you didn't realize were there just suddenly get brighter. And all of a sudden you can very much tell that this is a stage. Oh, Magnolia, can you bring me the script again? Okay. Yes. And he's just going over it with this hollow that's standing there with a book. Yes. They get Rowan, they talk to him, and they get the bats at the door. Dusty asks, do you have the key? whether or not they got the key. It's so... He folds up the book. It's so blasé. Oh, I am so sorry. I haven't introduced myself, though one of you knows me. Yes, I have to put a clause for that one next time. They don't accidentally drink it. Anyway, I am your lovely host, meaning deeply bows his very crisp, tailored leather jacket and suit ensemble. Just he is the epitome of poise and just oozing suave aspect here. I'm Neville, your host, and you, my lovely scoundrels, are on a game show. Well, the undeads really do appreciate their entertainment, and unfortunately, they've all paid very, very good souls, and none of you are really standing up to it. I mean, we almost had definitely something there with you when he points to you, Coil, and kind of like then puts an arm around you. Oh, you were such a delight for about 30 seconds. It's unfortunate. So, all right. We have plenty of bids on your souls on whether or not you're going to make it through this. And right now, we're in a commercial break. So chop, folks. Start talking to me. Give me ideas. Give me concepts. Let's figure this out and see if we can, like, zhoosh this up a little bit, okay? For the people. Yes. All right. And I'm going to start a clock. If I can get around the cat that is sitting on my desk at the moment. Excuse me. And I am going to start a 6-segment clock here.
Okay, and what is that called? What does it mean?
Hold on, I'm going to put it here in the middle of the sheet.
9999 question mark?
Commercial break ends.
Oh.
And you guys need to come up with ideas and talk to whoever this person is, Neville, and figuring out what's going to happen next. And I'm going to go ahead and add a tick to this clock.
Could we just talk as players?
It's up to you.
Do we want to do it as okay, we could do it that way, I guess. I mean, we're going to convince them, right? So, like, how are we talking to them? Are they talking to us in our head?
No, he's being vocal and verbal. You have Neville, the show host there. You have Magnolia, which is the a script assistant, you know, one of those director people that help make sure everyone's in the same spot.
We're actually in the theater.
Yes, you guys are currently on the stage. You can't see the rest of the theater, but you're pretty sure it's behind one of the walls. And Dusty is there. And as you guys are kind of like beginning to understand what Neville is referring to, you start seeing prop people coming, different ghosts and horrors moving different aspects, rewinding the bats back up with the giant crank on their string for them to run again through this particular part. What are you guys doing?
Well, you know what this needs? This needs a an overture, you know, an opera.
Are you going to serenade us now?
If you want to lose some viewers, I could.
Give me a little sample. Come on.
All right.
We only have a little bit more in this commercial, and I'm going to go ahead and add a tick here to this clock. That is now 2 segments full. And how would you like to give this singing sample?
Yeah, Okay, Coil probably knows the sea shanty, right? And so they're just going to operatize like that.
Like a totally, it's kind of like
seems like a
cross-genre.
completely appropriate. Coil just thinks it's opera, but it's really just the sea shanty.
Well, I know it's a sea shanty, but I'm going to try to emulate opera because
Entertain me, Esker.
Yeah.
Entertain me.
Listen, you don't want to hear that.
But I do.
We want to know what Coil can do, don't we? I don't know about
Exactly.
Esker's
All
singing
right.
voice.
All right. So how about a sway fortune?
If that is how you feel that Coil will do it, go for it.
Yeah.
Daisy's totally not helping, but she's like warming up her voice in the background too. Like just in case you
For
need
that
backup.
lovely falsetto.
Mm-hmm.
She's back there like,
almost had something good.
Oh no.
okay, wait, what?
You know,
Oh, the wall came up late.
Coil
Okay.
thinks he's pretty good.
I mean, that
But
looks...
Neville just stands there and just does this. Yes. Magnolia, mark this one down to never be given a singing part. The death scene. No, that one we can definitely do. Very good actor there.
It
Any
makes sense.
others?
It makes sense because they probably do want us to like some of us to get eliminated. So if they sounded good, they'd probably be like, "But make that one of the last contests or something."
Do you have something, Mark?
Yeah. Let's see. So Daisy's also a musical type, but she was more of a dancer in her formative years. She looks a little bit shaky, but she starts to kind of like she hikes up her nice gown that she has just to show her ankles, as if it's like she like looks away like as if it's risque to do so, and and she shows a little ankle and starts to like wiggle her ankle out from underneath the thing and does like a rhythmic gyration, as if she's beginning a performance.
I need to see how well you do this.
Me too. Because I don't know. Let's see. I guess
Show
that's...
them ankles, Mark.
Yeah, I guess that's a finesse. I don't know. I think that's finesse. I mean, I'm not great at that, but...
You do it however you feel that you take the appropriate action you feel that Daisy would do to do this.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, she starts to act like she's going to finesse it, but then she does like a tumble. She does like a tumble that's like dangerous as to be impressive. If that gets me desperate, I'm in.
I'm just going to say it's fortune right now. The only thing you
fortune.
can technically affect right now is that commercial break clock.
I got you. This is just how it looks and stuff. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess she won't bust her butt on this one.
Such a shame.
Yeah, right? What is that? Oh, that's a 4.
Hey!
So,
Yeah, you succeed. His, Thank you, Kitty. And Neville seems... several of our audience members definitely have the cougar kink. So, write Daisy down for that.
Daisy looks appalled.
The fat... do you prefer feathers or fur? Never mind. It's an important detail. Make sure to write Daisy down for that scene.
Yeah, she grasps for any kind of prop to cover her ankle, and then looks ashamed.
And you? What do you have to bring?
How does he play this? I think Eoreth takes off his glasses, folds them very carefully, and puts them in his shirt front pocket. And he steps forward and puts his hand out to shake, and says, Neville, it's a pleasure to formally meet your acquaintance. I have to confess, you have me on the back foot here. I think that might be on purpose. However, if you don't mind, what kind of thing do you need me to bring to the table?
Firstly, Professor, you have fantastically soft skin. You must tell me your skin regime at some point. Kind of he doesn't necessarily want to let go. He just kind of lets his fingers kind of hang there for an extra moment or two to get the point across, and then kind of pulls them back. I mean, really. Impress me. Bring yourself close to death. Let us see what that shift is between life and death. The moment all of us participated in momentarily. Either join us or he gestures, and you'll notice the scene around you has changed. Parts of the sewer have the walls and the different pipes, and everything's being moved off in different aspects, and props are being more so brought in. Go ahead and die, perish, join us. I mean, with hands like those, you can really have a place here. However, if you do decide to survive, there are plenty of treasures that we can give, for you have given us entertainment, dear, and that is what we wish for.
I think he sketches a bow, and then he smiles and winks, and he says, well, if it's theatrics you're looking for, I can bring that in spades. And he taps at the grimoire that's tucked into his vest pocket. And I think he snaps his fingers, and a tiny little flame appears above them, like a lighter almost, and then kind of shakes his hand and it goes away.
You hear a little clap from Dusty, who's just been hovering there. Pretty!
I think Daisy kind of speaks up at this point too, and it's kind of treasure, you say? Her eyes kind of perk up at that. She goes, not too worried about the other part. you know, dying and all of that. He says, she kind of does this like hand movement to kind of like bring back one of the props using wind or something, some kind of wind movement. Like she's got that tempest ability she never used. But she's just gonna like flex it in the smallest way.
Mm-hmm.
And then and if you'll allow that, she's just gonna be like, you know, bring us something more our speed.
I think Neville will just kind of like, stand down and be like, now why didn't you all bring that to begin with, dear?
Well, Speedy wasn't exactly the fastest. Now, was he?
Do I
Don't
need to
say
throw
that,
you
you'll
down
insult
the
him.
hole?
Yeah.
I'd be more
She's
than
always
happy
being
to throw
insulting.
you.
She is. She's such a jerk. This Daisy character.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like looks back to the pit that is like very much like gated and closed off at this point. And just kind of like looks back to you. Is like, fine. Oh wait, hold on. I'm calling him Rourke, and I don't. No, yeah, it is Rourke. Okay. At this, he kind of just like, oh, fine, I'll let you talk, and he just kind of like does this hand motion, and a zipper gets unzipped like zzz, and Rourke can start talking again. Oh my gosh, you were just gonna leave me there, just hanging? Cat having my tongue? You can't do that, darling. You just can't. I'm an artist. I'm supposed to be able to talk.
There's like an abrupt stamp on the stage. Like a drat! You know, like a rat! You know, like really quick. And then just like a, you know.
Don't even
Daisy's
give
tries
me
to play it
that,
off.
darling. I was trying to flirt with her, but you can see she's completely unprofessional. Darling, please, darling, give me another chance. And Neville is just like, why am I stuck with people as such as this? Anyway, and he just kind of like does this, and like Rourke gets cut off halfway through a sentence.
Okay,
Anyway.
then I'll throw Rourke his femur and say, okay, break a leg.
Got it. Yes. Oh.
Beautifully done, beautifully done. And I think Neville is just gonna be like, anyway, you can't get a lucky break every single time. But we're coming up close to the end of the commercial break. Any other ideas, dears, before we get started? And don't forget, this next step, you may very well lose part of your soul. Don't worry about it too much unless it happens.
Hey, that's actually an interesting idea. Remember we were talking about ways to like maybe not do the downtime thing or do the downtime. But if we like when we die, we just take a trauma or something, or you want us to just die when we die? Because like then we could just go scene to scene. You know what I mean? And just like assume that we recover, and if we don't recover, we died. Then we died, and we're just traumatized or something. And the one with the least trauma wins. That makes sense.
If you survive to the end.
Oh wait, but some of us took trauma as your house roll, so that we didn't know that before. So.
Yeah. Out of character, I allowed, because and this was just because we're doing the stream and it's very condensed, I went ahead and let the characters take an extra special ability for a trauma as a trade-off as they wish, to give them more flexibility in their role-playing. Also, Mark, go ahead and take a look at the chat in Discord, because I actually answered that question regarding stress. So as of right now, you only have 1 stress, and if you gain a level 4 harm or anything else, you make that decision based on your character.
Got it.
So,
Didn't know that.
any other suggestions that you guys have for Neville here before the timer runs out, essentially?
Oh, I think you know what always works? Giant eels. Those always work.
Yeah, like a kraken eel monster or something, or
Oh, really?
some, or just eels that like entangle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Can any
what-
of you swim?
Yes.
Shame.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll find out, right? Probably. In most situations. Maybe not with eels.
Oh, it's too easy, too easy. We can't necessarily do all of that. But the show is about to go on. But I have an offer for each of you. A little something to spice things up. I think I will. And he looks over at the sheet Magnolia has and like seems to go down a list. Yes, extra soul. This one would be perfect for you. And with that, he snaps his fingers. And Danielle is going to vanish with Neville. Now, I'm just snapping on stream, baby. I'm not talking to you. You're good. I use that as a pay attention. So, Danielle, you find yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I'm actually gonna switch where you guys are at. Did I already move you guys there? That would probably be the reason why none of you guys were able to see the clock, because it was on the other page. You find yourselves. Yeah, no, you guys were in a different page. Let's just call that a brain fart of forgetting that Roll20 pages can be different. Your players can only see one. You find yourself, Danielle, from being completely on set to being almost in a back office. And this office has beautiful stained glass windows going up of it, super luxurious sofas and lounging, rich, like the most luxurious carpet you have ever seen and felt in your life. Like, it's the lap of luxury. And through the stained glass, you can actually see the rest of the theater. You can see all of the seats all the way down the front. There's the multiple boxes that go along the side of those really old theaters. And there on the stage, you can actually see there's almost like a lightning barrier, but it's a different color. You've never seen one that was orange like this. It's almost the color of amber, and it's pressed up on one side at the very, very front of the stage platform, and then right behind it, you can actually see Coil and Daisy still talking with Dusty and Magnolia, all there on stage, but they evidently can't see you. It seems to be like a one-way looking glass or something. It's something like that, and you like as you're looking at it, you can start seeing like brick texture or something on the actual barrier itself. It somehow has been ritualistically changed to appear as a farce, as like a fake wall. So you're standing there. Oh, you're all good. You see Danielle and Neville vanish, and they're nowhere to be found. Um, mhm. So, Professor, you are in Neville's office, and he kind of like goes up to his desk and he pulls out his book of cigars and offers you one. So, Professor, I have a deal of which I want to offer you. You see, well, I mean, you can tell by the books, and he just kind of like points off, and there's like a little booth, and it shows each of your faces, and then like a score of like what the current bets or the current odds are against you guys dying. I always like to fix my races, if you catch my drift. So the question is, for something a little bit more potent, understandably, the props we gave you at the beginning are going to work, but not necessarily the best. Is there a particular person out of the two of your crewmates that you would offer a little extra comfort in life? Or afterlife? I can make either one very comfortable. You're more than welcome to type it to me if you'd like. Interesting. And how would you like to accomplish that? You can go ahead and type something up to me in Discord, and we'll go back to this scene here. We can always flash back to this if you would like. That would actually be a really good way. I will ask you a question. If I can know how to spell. All right. Professor and Neville reappear, or at least Professor does. And then Daisy, you are essentially giving a snare or something to Magnolia. And Magnolia has little spectacles or something on that are kind of like just pulled down to her nose of like just not putting up with any of your BS. And just like raises one eyebrow and poof, you vanish from where you are. And suddenly you are in the exact same place that I described moments before. Mm-hmm. Yes, dear, whatever you want to call it. Oh, really? And what are you willing to give me in exchange for this protection? Oh, really? And he just kind of like sits back in his chair and puts his boots up on the desk. The prize, babe, is you get to live. Isn't that what living is all cracked up to be? Mm. So you would like comfort and influence in the after. Who cares about family when you can live it up? Have a new body. Yes, what are you willing to give for it? Who are you willing to kill for it? What soul are you willing to bind for it? Give me something. I can make your wish come true. Now that's my kind of woman. So, dear, go ahead and tell me exactly how you want to do it. And with that, I would like you to go ahead and type something up in Discord of exactly what you're willing to give for that. And we're going to cut scene. You can always flash back to that bit of the conversation. But I'm going to leave our audience and each other a little hanging. Next, Coil. You're standing there. Neville's vanished. Professor's popped in and out of existence. Daisy seems to have wandered off. Magnolia's standing there, just kind of existing. And you get a little tug on your jacket.
Yeah, I'll look around.
It's dusty.
Got something for me.
Yeah. I've been learning from the boss. Okay. So I think if I, okay. So, well, I'm supposed to ask a question, but I'm not sure. Oh, that was it. Okay, so what do you really want out of this?
Well, I'm here for the thrills. So I think you all need to make it more exciting.
You want thrills?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I read about this in a book. Give me one. Oh, wait. Before I give it to you, what are you willing to give for it? I was the boss. He was very particular. He always asks for something. I'm learning. What are you willing to give for it? For more thrills?
Oh, How about Florence?
A what?
Florence.
I don't know what that is. You gotta tell me something I know. Hurry, they're gonna be back anytime.
And I'll go on to describe my rival and see if they can figure out who it is.
Oh! So, like, how do you want them?
Well, you see, I think we can come to a mutual arrangement here. Like I end them and you get them. So I'm giving them to you.
So just so I understand, you want me to kidnap them, bring them here, and then you do something to them? And then I get them, but didn't I just kidnap them? So technically I already have them. So what is your part? I don't get it.
Well, I provide the panache, the excitement, the on-screen duel. I don't think you all can provide that. None of the,
Blood. You want blood? I can give you blood. Give me one. Okay. That's the deal. I get this so-called Florence. And he goes poof, and he vanishes, and comes back within like 30 seconds or so, and like you can, like, the scene is definitely changing around you. and whatnot. The lights are beginning to dim, and you have a couple other people that are kind of like, all right, curtain's about to call. And Dusty comes up to you and sticks you with something in your leg.
Okay.
Did that hurt?
Like, hey, what was that?
I'm giving you thrills. I found this syringe back in the boss's office.
Oh, okay. All right.
It has stuff it. I don't know how to say it. It's got some crazy. Oh, I made sure to add everything I found inside of it. You're gonna have so much fun. All the thrills. So,
It's a 2-day or a 3-day thing.
oh, you're gonna have some fun. So there was a little bit of blood needle in there, a little bit of quicksilver, a little bit of spark, and because I'm having fun with this thought and idea, there's a little bit of drift oil in it. You feel lighter than you normally do, and like your feet aren't necessarily touching the floor anymore.
Okay. Cool. Get to have a wuxia duel. All right.
Everything around you just slow. It's like somebody turns up the contrast and vibrancy, like dials it up like 20 or 40 notches. Is this more thrilling? And Dusty kind of like does this, and like as he moves, like he like almost seems to pause and stop almost in some spaces and then comes back to where he is, though you know that he is moving fluidly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll beckon him over. Like, yeah, okay. The secret sauce. All right, we need more explosions. Okay, just get them ready. I'm confident you can do it.
What are you gonna give me? There's always a trade. Boss was very particular about that.
Some nice scenes. You know the
What? Like what?
oh, like the ducking and diving and the shrapnel. You know, flying in the air.
Automatics. Give me something actual. This is the closest I've been to like a famous actor, and I'm a little fangirling over here.
Mhm.
Just a little bit.
So,
Involve the dust devil a little bit there, man.
all right. I didn't want to do this, but a secret reveal. Okay.
Okay.
Me and Florence used to be a thing, but it went bad. Yeah, and that's the duel. Okay, those are the stakes.
Don't think that would be okay for the younger audience like me. Wait. Oh, okay. So you want me to set you up on a date? I can do that. Oh, gotta go. Poof. It vanishes. And at that point, I think the professor and Daisy have come back, and curtains being called essentially, and like get ready for the next scene. And then like you're like a little getting like even a little bit lighter and lighter as you just kind of like sit there and the lights dim and you're like, oh good, maybe nobody will notice as you kind of like get a little higher. And then all of a sudden you drop down a little bit with a little extra weight in your pocket. And there's some stuff in your pocket. Dusty just kind of goes, bye. So he left you a gift.
Okay, I'll
in
see
your
what
pocket.
it is. All right, I'll discreetly see what it is when the others aren't around.
Definitely grenades, bombs, probably dynamite sticks,
All right.
nitroglycerin, like
Party favors, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you'll notice like you never did get called back. to talk with Neville. But you talked with Dusty. Dusty got you the goods. And supposedly closer to finally getting revenge against Florence. The lights fully dim. The wind, the air itself around you seems a little electrified momentarily and then suddenly shifts to the left. All of a sudden becoming a lot colder and more temperamental. Air seems a little bit alive. You're not exactly sure, but this is definitely not the sewers anymore. A little bit of sound. Water. More water. Seems to be all around you. Seems to be lapping up at your feet. You look down and you are standing on a wooden dock. No end in either way you look. It's just a long, narrow pathway into the fog. You don't see any lightning barriers, you don't see duskfall, you don't see anything. You are out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by void sea. The waves lapping. And all of a sudden, you hear a lone, long, deep horn. Sort of like a foghorn from a ship. You'll be familiar with one of these at the mouth of the bay near the docks. And it's coming from further down the path. What do you guys do?
So we're all there now? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as the professor and Daisy came back to you, it almost seems like the scene ended, and now you guys are on to the next scene of the show.
Is there any land behind us, or does it just look like we're on a beach, or like?
You guys are on a long, narrow dock that goes from one end of your vision and vanishes into fog. And if you turn and look the other way, it goes the exact same way, and there's nothing around you but water.
No beach. Beach. Okay. We're facing one direction, all three of us?
You're just standing on the dock.
I mean,
You
is there a
hear
direction
that
that looks
fog
like?
horn again.
Okay.
This time accompanied with chains of an anchor, wet, being drawn up or dropped. You're not exactly sure.
I'm not exactly sure what's happening. Where do we go?
Yorath straightens his vest and begins walking towards the sound of the foghorn. Looks over his shoulder.
Wait,
Come on.
Daisy's like walking the opposite direction, away from the foghorn. She's like, that doesn't sound good. Kind of like
Well, I don't really
trembles.
fancy being lost in nothing forever, so something's better than nothing and more exciting. And he winks.
tries to logic it a little bit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You hear the horn again. This time it's closer. More chains dripping with water. Drawn up, dropped over and over again.
I'll head towards it too. See what it is.
Louder and louder it becomes. Daisy, you feel the wind whip past you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to attune or something here. I don't know if I want to go towards that, but I'm just like
Okay.
I'm trying to see what I feel. Does it feel bad?
You, I will have you make a roll in a second, but you
Oh.
feel the wind whip past you, and as you look over to it, you see a dark, wet, dripping chain. You're not sure what it's made out of, but it's moving past you in a horizontal manner towards the horn.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can go ahead and make a roll if you would like.
Daisy's just gonna try to like. So you told us that there was like, if we had taken the trauma, we would take another ability, and I was like,
Correct.
I don't know if I would do that or not, but then I realized I already picked the trauma, and so I didn't pick the ability. So I was like, well, I'll just grab Ghost Mind, if that's okay, since that kind of fits with what I've already been kind of doing, where I'm trying to like gather info about supernatural all the time. And so, in a way, I'm just trying to see if there's any supernatural entity around, and if so, I would be aware. And I'm just heading towards where the chain's going at this point.
Go ahead and make me a roll for that. I take a +1
Oh,
for that +1 die
is this an
from
action,
Ghost Mind.
or are we talking about a fortune?
Yep, go ahead and make me a fortune roll with an extra die.
Fortune. Okay.
5.
So I rolled that, and I got 4 dice. I got a 5. Yeah. Yeah, I'm short. I'm shortly behind them, just kind of like letting my eyes roll in the back of my head or something.
You can sense with your attunement, you kind of like reach out to you like a pulse, very similar to like echolocation or sonar. The surface of the water lights up before you. Your friends there before you, actually more behind you, walking away. And the thing that lights up is a mass, but it's moving. And it is almost like an urchin with many, many spikes that are moving and flexing and being drawn in. There seems to be spikes or chain that is coming out of nowhere and being drawn to whatever this entity is. And it is getting massive. It's round in shape. And the more you look at it, the closer your friends get to it, as it sounds louder and louder and louder, it begins to change shape from a round orb into this mass of watery chain. And it stands up 4 feet, 4 legs, a body, 2 heads, and kind of sort of arms, but you have to visualize it's like a bunch of moving chains and everything else. So like it will join probably to like here and appear more solid, and then the rest of it is just like a bunch of tentacles.
Oh.
And the horn, the vibrance of it, of your attunement, kind of shifts from the rest of the body and then goes up into the faces, and then eyes look directly at you. And with that, that is where we're going to take a break.